through their game preparation, making sure they're fully warmed up for the tip. Mucho gusto, and welcome to Noche Latina on 2K Sports. From the jerseys to the food to the halftime entertainment tonight, a distinctive Latin flavor. And alongside Clark Kellogg, Doris Burke, and Esteban Kerr, this is Kevin Harlan.
Thank you, Kevin. I think it's going to be a fantastic night here. Love the jerseys, love the festive atmosphere, the flair. This is going to be awesome.
A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First for the Knicks, Derrick Rose is out there with Lee. And down low, the two-time NCAA champion at Florida, the 6'11 tornado of energy and effort. It's the big man, Joakim Noah. Then it's Anthony. Then for the San Antonio Spurs, Tony Parker is out there with Green. And at the center position, one of the most highly skilled 7-footers in the game today. He can do it all. Pau Gasol. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Aldridge in at the 4 slot.
You know, I thought San Antonio really was an outstanding team. Fun to watch, excellent at both ends of the floor. But one statistical thing that stood out was they defended at a high level without committing a lot of fouls. That takes discipline and smarts.
Lee outside. Pass to Noah. Rose. The rebound by Gasol.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
And Clark, as you said about that Spurs team, just a team that does not foul very often. Doesn't give away 3 points. And Steve, they led the league in fewest fouls last season.
Well, that's part of Greg Popovich's mantra. I mean, don't give up anything easy. You can't guard a free throw, obviously. You can't guard a fast break. So important for the Spurs to avoid fouls and take care of the basketball and be efficient offensively, and that helps their D.
And so it's the Knicks getting on the board first. They kick it out to Green. The feed to Leonard. 7-foot shot. Stolen by Noah. Outside Anthony. Back to Rose. Shot from 16. That misses off the backboard.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Green against Lee. And that one's good. Lee's got his first 2 points of the night. Here's Parker. Parker, right side. Back to Leonard for 3. And it's getting the assist by Parker. Leonard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The Knicks have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Rose against Parker. A second chance effort. And Noah with a nice bucket inside.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way.
That is not a difficult pass. You'd think they could keep it in bounds.
And it's the Knicks with the ball. Outside Jennings. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
And Jennings drops them both. Here's Aldridge. Parker passes to Green. And again, it's the Spurs from deep. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. New York ahead, up 2. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. Welcome back to Noche Latina, celebrating the Latin culture and their love for the game of basketball. It just keeps growing. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Knicks.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
Now, here's Green. And that one's good. Parker.
You know, even though he doesn't really have a long-range ability on a consistent level, he can knock down some open ones.
Anytime you have an offense that's based on a lot of isolations, you're not going to get a ton of assists. Despite being right at the bottom in terms of team assist totals, the Knicks were still a pretty good offensive team.
And the shot is good. Leonard's got 5 points so far.
And Kevin, what I like about him is that he tends to get hot at the most opportune times. It doesn't matter if it's coming out of a halftime or out of a timeout. He just has a knack for heating up in a hurry.
And he also loves to jump into the passing lanes and pick you off. I mean, he likes to shoot the gap. It backfires on occasion, but like a great base runner, he seems to pick his spots pretty well.
Clark, as you said, the Knicks were a solid team on offense in the top third amongst all NBA teams. But, Steve, it wasn't because they were zipping the ball around.
No, they ran a lot of isolation plays, particularly for Carmelo Anthony. He was effective at times, but you could see when the Knicks struggled, it was usually because their offense kind of came to a halt, and they weren't able to generate the movement to open up their three-point shooters. Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Spurs have gone 2 or 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with the age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
Now here's Jennings. Outside Thomas. And it's out of bounds to the Knicks as New York retains possession.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Derrick Rose is checked in for New York. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Holiday off a pitch from Baker. And Holiday, here we go. Thomas is screen on Leonard. They're whistled for a blocking foul, and he'll head to the line. For New York, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
Very successful free throw shooting team a year ago, guys. They hit about 80% from the line.
You know, something you can point to when you're talking about their areas of success last season, free throw shooting.
Rose against Parker. Gasol setting the pitch for Parker. Back to Gasol. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. The Spurs shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And you take a look at the numbers, guys. They shot 80% from the free throw line as a team a year ago.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
Both free throws good from Gasol. Heaves it up. Can't get it to go. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Spurs lead by 3. Well, folks, stay tuned for the halftime show at Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And it's halftime out in San Antonio with a great one going on there. Glad to have you with us. The Spurs are fighting for control so far. A dominating performance offensively. They're getting everything they want. Kawhi Leonard with some valuable contributions. We've also seen some help out of Tony Parker. And battling nonstop, the New York Knicks. And give them credit defensively. They're boxing out, controlling their defensive backboards. And that'll be all for now. Thanks so much for joining us. The third quarter, just about to get underway.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
There were only 3 teams in the East that had a positive record against the Western Conference, and the Knicks were one of them. When you have talent like this team does, it doesn't really matter where your opponent is from because you're going to be able to compete.
Leonard attacking. He kicks to Green. And Quentin Lee gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happens.
Parker kicks to Green. Kicks it out to Leonard. 6 on the shot clock. Left side, Leonard. Fires from 14. That's good. Leonard's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Spurs. Well, Clark, as you mentioned, the Knicks against the West, when you had the offensive capabilities from deep that they did, you know, Steve, you're never really out of the game. Yeah, you should know.
Well, they can just shoot their way back into games very easily. And it's what they did a lot of times against some of those teams in the West. But you have to play well against the West if you want to win your division. And the Knicks were able to do that last year.
Feeds it to Aldridge. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And Kevin, what stands out to me is his array of moves down on the low block. The low post scoring, back to the basket game. That's what he does, and that's a valuable weapon for a team to have.
And another thing you see him do a lot and do very well is draw and dish. He brings defenders to him in the low post and then kicks the ball out to the wide-open teammate if he's double-teamed. A dramatic improvement for the San Antonio Spurs defensively last season, guys. Coach Pop had suggested that they might have gotten too old to be an elite defensive team anymore, but that wasn't the case. I think he challenged them a little bit, and they raised the bar of their defensive performance.
Here's Parker, following the score by Derrick Rose. Green dishes to Parker. The pass to Aldridge. Outside, Green kicks it to Leonard. Passes it to Aldridge. Got a piece of it. And it's Rose penetrating. He dishes it to Carmelo. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Anthony's got his second basket of the night. And Clark, you mentioned the defensive improvement of the Spurs. Going into last season, their stat gurus told them they needed to focus even more on contesting shots, even if that meant committing more fouls or allowing more offensive rebounds.
Well, that's exactly what they did, Kevin. They gave up a few more offensive rebounds, fouled slightly more than they had the prior season, but they were better in terms of shot blocks, steals, and they held their opponents to a lower field goal percentage. So a great example of getting an edge from advanced stats. Oh boy, he is just cold as ice. I don't think he's going to be the one to help them cut into the lead.
The dish now to Aldridge. Three-quarters of play in a close game here. It's the Spurs leading by 3. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
You know, one of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
The other thing that jumps out to me is just the big number of assists they've had. The offensive efficiency has been a major factor.
San Antonio leading. Parker kicks to Leonard. Gasol, a screen-on lead. Leonard with the ball. Now Anthony defending. And Green gets it to go.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that rapid coverage on that play.
Here is Rose. Green with the block.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
We're seeing the Knicks unable to defend against Leonard.
9 points, and he's put 1 3-pointer on the board.
Going forward, I think it'd be a good idea to let him spend a little more time behind the arc. He looks like he has a nice touch from out there.
He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in. Shot from the wing. Shot is off. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. 1:11 left in the fourth quarter. Leonard off the pick from Aldridge. Outside, Green. Dishes to Parker. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Rose with the double team. Shot clock at 6. It's stolen by Anthony. And now here's Lee. The fast break opportunity. Leonard with the steal. Parker against Lee. Parker passes to Green. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Green. Aldridge. Nice pass. Nice catch and a resounding dunk.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Now here's Anthony. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Green, no luck.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. And I don't care if he didn't convert it. He's got to take that every time.
Rose, no good. Now Aldridge. Parker, right side. Green. Fires the three. The shot is off. And so it's San Antonio with the win. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.